Republicans are racist. This lying liberal talking point has become tedious and ridiculous, but I wonder how many people actually still believe it. Dr. Ben Carson, Trump administration Housing and Urban Development Secretary, is one of the many strong, patriotic conservatives to speak at the Republican National Convention this week. He's gone on record saying, "We, the American people, are not each other's enemies. The enemies are those behind the curtain, jerking everybody's chains and trying to divide us by age, race, and income." Let's take a look at some black success stories and some of the featured guests from the RNC this week. I'm David Fiorazzo, and this is Christ and Culture. Division is a tactic of the left. One of the ways Democrats keep driving a wedge between people is by stoking racial division, and they're taking full advantage of the global movement, Black Lives Matter, as well as riot season in America, to scare people. But if you look at the facts rather than just emotion, at President Trump's policies, for example, and at what is unreported by the liberal media, it proves that these accusations of racism are baseless. One of the most impactful speeches from the RNC was former NFL running back Herschel Walker, who has known Donald Trump for 37 years and said it was a personal insult that people would think that he was friends with a racist. He said Trump treated janitors, security guards, and waiters the same as he would a VIP. Walker added this:
"I pray every night that God gives him more time. Give him 4 more years. He has accomplished so much almost all by himself on a constant attack. But there's still more work to be done. If you love America and want to make it better, Donald Trump is your president. He's my president, and I'm blessed to call him friend."
Another powerful speech was from a young Republican woman running for Congress in deep blue Baltimore, which is a long shot to be sure. But when are people who are living there and suffering going to say, "We've had enough"? That's the challenge Kim Klacik is putting out there in an effort to save one of the most crime-ridden cities in the U.S., controlled by Democrats for decades. Her infomercial has gone viral as she walks through the decimated parts of Baltimore stating the facts. Monday at the Republican National Convention, she said this:
"Joe Biden believes we can't think for ourselves, that the color of someone's skin dictates their political views. We're not buying the lies anymore. You and your party have neglected us for far too long, and yet the Democrats still assume that black people will vote for them, no matter how much they let us down and take us for granted. We're sick of it. We're not going to take it anymore. The days of blindly supporting the Democrats are coming to an end."
Did you hear that? That was the sound of liberal heads exploding in the media. Adding to the impact of the Republican message this week, the RNC featured several Democrats who did not vote for Trump in 2016, but after seeing his effectiveness and his policies helping the people, they're now campaigning for him. Lifelong Democrat Vernon Jones, a state representative from Georgia, said Joe Biden has had 47 years to produce results, but has instead delivered all talk and no action. He said this:
"But I have news for Joe Biden. We are free. We are free people with free minds. And I'm part of a large and growing segment of the black community who are independent thinkers, and we believe that Donald Trump is the president that America needs to lead us forward."
Jones went on to say that it's just the opposite of what the media portrays, that the Democrat Party is the one that has become infected with intolerance, bigotry, socialism, anti-law enforcement bias, and a, quote, "dangerous tolerance for people who attack others, destroy property, and terrorize our communities," end quote. On Tuesday night, the RNC featured Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, who stated this:
"I also think about Joe Biden, who says, 'If you aren't voting for me, you ain't black,' who argued that Republicans would put us back in chains, who says there is no diversity of thought in the black community. Mr. Vice President, look at me. I am black. We are not all the same, sir. I am not in chains. My mind is my own. And you can't tell me how to vote because of the color of my skin."
Friends, please share this. Why? Because it destroys the Democrat media's narrative that blacks support Biden and Republicans are racist. Now, Republican power player, former United Nations Ambassador Nikki Haley, spoke on opening night, emphasizing the fact that she's the daughter of proud Indian immigrants and that it's now fashionable to say in America that this country is racist. Haley insisted that's a lie. She reminded us of the importance of America supporting Israel and that President Trump moved our embassy to Jerusalem. Here's more from Nikki Haley. Watch.
This president has a record of strength and success. The former vice president has a record of weakness and failure. Joe Biden is good for Iran and ISIS, great for communist China, and he's a godsend to everyone who wants America to apologize, abstain, and abandon our values.
Haley also said what most of us understand, that last time Joe's boss was Obama. This time it would be Nancy Pelosi, Bernie Sanders, and the squad. She said their vision for America is socialism. Here are just two more people, two more quotes. Maximo Alvarez is a Florida businessman who fled communist Cuba and Castro and warned against the socialist left agenda in America and the Democrats gaining power right here in the States. Now, this man truly supports the Constitution, the president, and loves America. Watch this.
I am so grateful to America, the place where I was able to build my American dream through hard work and determination. President Trump knows that the American story was written by people just like you and I, who love our country and take risks to build a future for our families and neighbors. I may be a Cuban-born, but I am 100% American. This is the greatest country in the world. And I said this before, if I gave away everything that I have today, it would not equal 1% of what I was given when I came to this great country of ours.
Wow. We could do this all day. But finally, I hope you watched the entire speech from RNC keynote speaker Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. He made so many good points, including the truth that President Trump built what Scott referred to as the most inclusive economy ever. 7 million jobs created pre-COVID-19, 2/3 of which went to women, African Americans, and Hispanics. Here's a clip from Senator Tim Scott.
We are not fully where we want to be, but I thank God Almighty, we are not where we used to be. We are always striving to be better. When we stumble, and we will, we pick ourselves back up and try again. We don't give in to cancel culture or the radical and factually baseless belief that things are worse today than in the 1860s or the 1960s. We have work to do, but I believe in the goodness of America, the promise that all men and all women are created equal. Over the past 4 years, we have made tremendous progress towards that promise.
Excellent. Now, there must be a blue moon because even Communist News Network's Van Jones told a panel on CNN that there's no denying what the president has done to help the black community. A far-left progressive, Van Jones, even said that he gives Trump credit for applauding the fact the Trump administration has helped black colleges, criminal justice reform, and the highest job numbers for the black community in American history. Now, I want you to be watching for something, friends. Democrats in D.C. and their liberal media activist arm of the party are now referring to Joe Biden as hope and light, and to President Trump as doom and darkness. But if you've been paying attention, the truth is exactly the opposite. The Bible refers to this as calling evil good and good evil. Lawlessness, like what we're seeing on our streets, is sin, and sin is part of the darkness. Righteousness is of God, and Jesus is the light. The Apostle John writes about Jesus saying this, quote, "Now this is the message that we've heard from him and proclaimed to you. God is light, and in him there's no darkness at all. If we say we have fellowship with him. While we continue to walk in darkness, we lie and do not act in truth. But if we walk in the light as he, Jesus, is in the light, then we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of his Son, Jesus, cleanses us from all sin. Let's be strong in the faith, stay in the light, and expose the darkness, friends. God bless you, and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.